I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of international breaks. I don't really care about the football until the showpiece event, right? So everyone's like busy qualifying and doing all the stuff. I only like when it comes to the actual,
the real stuff.
the real stuff. Then I pay attention. You know, as someone like myself, the stop-start nature of all these games in the league season as well. You know, some teams, yes, it helps them self-correct. Some teams, it breaks the momentum. Should there be a block of 4 weeks? Because now we've had 2 weeks of breaks, twice, so a month. Should there be a month just dedicated to qualifiers and national team football?
True. I think.
And then we move on with the rest of the season?
Yes.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad at all, because as you said, you know, the momentum, because you might get a club that is playing and their momentum is very high, they are there, and then only now to be disturbed by, you know, this break,
Yeah.
that, okay, now players, 4 or 5 players, or the whole team,
Yeah.
they have to go and then represent their countries,
Right.
and then by the time that they come back again, it's like you're starting again from
Yeah. So should it be what, a pre-season thing?
Yes. Not really.
Not really.
Because I guess the issue is when do you find the time? Because if it's not pre-season and not all leagues take that little season break, which anyway is not long enough, when do you do it?
Look, I think if you can, okay, let's say there is a month for international break, and then I think maybe to give the league maybe 2-3 weeks, and then resume after that. Then at least it will be okay.
Yeah,
if you look at it on the African continent, coming from a European brain, it works for Europe. We're looking at Africa where each national team raising the resources to undertake that is going to be a challenge. So the current status quo works well for the federations to mobilize the resources and run the national team on that level. Now, if you break it, if the federations are going to get assistance from FIFA to do that, because remember, the likes of Uganda, Zimbabwe, you are depending on funding the national team games on get correction. So that game, you know, you want to starve, you know, the fans of that moment where they get excited to come back after, you know, 2 weeks, after a month to get back in the stadium. I think it's going to be very detrimental to the African game in that area. If you're looking at the local domestic league, it may be enticing to try and try it out. But from where I'm sitting, the way African federations really are operating, it will be very challenging.
That's a good point to bring up as far as the economics are concerned, that I guess if you have too much of something kind of on the go, then it loses that special nature where people want to kind of go and get it, and, you know, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Let's see. I think they do need to be maybe more, or maybe it's perfect the way it is. I mean, some people like the break and the variety going from league. But I mean, let's be honest, league is the most competitive, and you know, international football, it's the luck of the draw. It's like, you know, or what your federation are smart enough to put in place. But for a lot of like African federations, there's not been that foresight to plan a team 8 years ahead of time. There's none of that.
For example, the question is, which football do you love watching in South Africa? Is it the PSL or Bafana play?
PSL.
It's the PSL.
Yeah.
That's
where
the
the numbers?
catch.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but England as well. A lot of people would rather watch the Premier League than watch the national team, even though they're doing better than they've been in recent times. Okay, so there we have it, folks. Thank you so much. We've done a marathon session live on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us in our new digs. You got something to say?
No.
Because he's making it seem like, well...
No, I'm done. All my points are covered.
All your points are covered. Okay. So what started out looking like a news conference with bad news has been a great session of illuminating news from the rest of my panel. Your thoughts have been great. Eddie Dinya, Calvin Sosivo, Timothy Batabayera, thank you so much, guys, for joining me this evening, and thank you to you too for tuning in. We'll catch up. What's happening? What? You're coming in? Oh, okay.
Oh, the boss is
there we go.
here. The boss has got something to say.
There we go.
Hey, there we go.
I'm looking at that screen and you haven't pitched up on YouTube yet.
Yeah, don't forget
But
to
there we go.
subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you for supporting the channel.
And thank you for supporting the channel.
Subscribe,
Yeah, we're here now.
subscribe.
There we go. Could you see our feature this whole time? You couldn't. It was cut off. Nice. Cool. We'll do it again in a week's time, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check us out on the interwebs, the Front Sports on social media. For myself, Gamumbata, and my panel. Good night.
Like,
Right.